Ahoy, mateys! Prepare thyselves for a treacherous tale of mayhem in search of a bounty of buried treasure! Which means we're gonna go look for this kimono-style head at Spirit Halloween. Aye, it's a journey only for the most gallant and fearless Halloween warriors among us, those who do not quiver when faced with incredible dangers, whose eyes show no fear and will press on against all odds, slaying thy enemies.
From furry to the world around us, the research and ramblings of a dog. Welcome to Tasper's Tour Bus.
Hi, I'm Tasper, and our tour this month takes us on a little bit of a Halloween adventure. I stopped by to share this story with an old friend, but since I've not visited in a while, Paul seems to be giving me the silent treatment. Fine. This is the holiday I look forward to celebrating every year. Halloween truly is my favorite holiday, as much as I love a sky show of colorful explosions, or the wondrous delight of dancing Christmas lights on display. There's just something about creepy decor, eerie lighting, and most of all, the freedom to actually dress up into something that totally transforms your appearance, changes you into something unexpected, and can even make you look, well, utterly ridiculous. Then throwing all caution and a good amount of your dignity to the wind and subjecting yourself to the reactions you will get from others. Some smile in delight and ask you for a photo. Others may laugh uncontrollably to celebrate your silliness while wearing a costume of their own, and some may give you a passing look of ridicule. I usually interpret that to mean, I don't have the guts to do that, and I'm jealous that you do. But no matter the case, it's also incredibly fun, and there's truly no other holiday like it. I can never celebrate it enough, which is one reason you'll see me on YouTube dressed as a dog, or for Halloween, perhaps a dog in leopard's clothing. One of my favorite rituals of the season is browsing this year's Halloween costume items, but it's most major retailers have slowly condensed their adult costume offerings, replaced them mostly by colorful candy displays, party supplies, and seasonal decor that often sometimes includes a completely different holiday. There's really only one store now in the U.S. that rules this season, the subsidiary of Spencer's, Spirit Halloween. As the Halloween season rolls around, I enjoy examining their website, scouting around for new treasures, and this year something different stood out to me right away. They are openly, and I do mean openly, marketing to furries. They're not even trying to be subtle about it any longer. Gone are the somewhat literal, long-winded titles that they used in the past that may have been selected to skirt around the intended audience, making the obvious marketing revealed only if you actually read the product description. This year, these are some of the results I got when I typed in the word fursuits. I almost felt like the spirits of Halloween were just sitting there, waiting for me to do just that. Now, to be completely transparent, I found this incredibly useful. I had no trouble finding items I wanted to see, which could be part of the reason for this marketing change. We're furries. We're great at spending money. We're not so great at doing much of anything on the down low. One search through social media confirms that their marketing masters at Spirit Halloween probably suspected when they introduced part of last year's products. A large percentage of furries would be interested, and these items were flying off of their store shelves. Of all the products I saw of this year's lineup, this one seemed to be the crown jewel, the holy grail to be had, in my opinion. This brand new piece with a name that just completely spells it right out. The Deluxe Black Furry Mask, a title that has leaps and bounds better than the truly tongue-twisting one we saw last year with Gray Fox moving mouthful mask. Now, deluxe can mean anything in the retail world of a Halloween store. It could mean it's actually decent, which is what I'm hoping for. It could mean that it's deluxe compared to, well, some of the other masks. Deluxe could mean that it's bigger, bolder, and more eye-catching, and I'd certainly give it that. It could also mean that by placing the word deluxe on it, well, we should just expect to pay more. The only way to really know what, if anything, earns this title, deluxe, is to actually see and hold the mask, and I certainly wanted to do that. But I ran into a snarl. The website wouldn't ship it to me. No matter how many times I went back to refresh the page, it just kept taunting me with the same two words: not available. To get one, I'd have to go on an old-school scavenger hunt, making in-person trips to one or more of their stores. Challenge accepted. Spirit's locations, they pop up nearly overnight in empty retail spaces, and where you'll find them frequently changes from year to year. But browsing their store is a lot of fun, and I do love to walk through them. Clicking thumbnails online is not the same as seeing walls of wigs, makeup, and masks staring back at you in their full-size, creepy glory. Let's face it, shopping online is convenient, but not at all exciting. In store, I get wide-eyed, and it takes me straight back to being a kid walking through the toy aisle. Though truthfully, I still tend to browse toy aisles.
Holy sure
So the mission was clear. Track one down, put my paws on it, and decide if their idea of deluxe matched my idea of deluxe. Especially after last year's fiasco, when Spirit's furry masks were so flimsy, they barely survived being tried on. Thin plastic, thin fur, and inconsistent quality issues that nearly made some of them completely unusable, although it did make for an interesting variety of differing online reviews. I decided to combine my deluxe mask hunt with a trip to Daytona Beach, which admittedly really has nothing to do with finding the mask, but it does allow me to sneak in a beach photo or two. Here's the thing about Spirit stores. They're novelty nomads filling a seasonal space. They'll set up shop in whatever place they can lease, be there for a few months, and then magically disappear for another year. Sometimes the location is glorious, an entire abandoned Sears store that's so large, you can almost get lost inside of it. Other times it's a much smaller place that, well, could have been anything. Shopping there is a bit like playing retail roulette. My first stop was a shopping mall that seemed to be gasping for air. Void of any major anchor stores, I almost could hear what I thought was the faint sound of a trumpet, playing taps. The Spirit store inside, it was really small, and the selection was smaller still. One quick lap through this location, I knew. No Black Furry Mask here. The second store, however, gave me much more hope. Housed in a former clothing store, it was a much larger place with actual displays. As I walked in, the mesmerizing and sometimes menacing animated mechanical displays that traditionally greet Spirit's guests welcomed me inside, something the mall location disturbingly lacked completely. And after deciding that I wasn't really up for a game of red light, green light, I examined what was indeed a much larger inventory. They had tails, ears, and even some animal masks that brought back memories of Walmart's old Maskimals line, having a similar flat-style construction that sort of springs back into shape when you plop the mask on top of your head, but no deluxe mask. This story would repeat itself at the next store, and yet again at the store following that. Which brings me to the part of the story where I start to realize, after visiting 4 Spirit locations, I was no closer to the Holy Grail than when I started. And none of these stops were exactly convenient. I was adding detours and trading hours of precious beach time, following a treasure map that only led me into a highway game of connect the dots. My scavenger hunt was quickly becoming a wild goose chase. Because here's the truth. When something goes viral in furry, social media clears these items out of the stores much faster than I can even get to them. I found myself facing the possibility that maybe the website was right. These masks were completely out of stock, not available. I still had 2 stores left, and they were on the direct route I needed to Daytona Beach. No more detours would be needed. The 5th stop reminded me of just how much each one of these stores can vary. This location had a massive storefront, and until recently, had been a very large Big Lots. Now, this is the sort of space where you know they can stock everything, and I was hoping that included the mask I was desperately seeking. Walking through the doors, I quickly realized this was the largest Spirit Halloween I had visited yet. I ignored the animatronics in the front this time, heading straight for the back. The masks are almost always in the back. And halfway there, my heart skipped. I could see what looked like 2 large ears peeking over a center display. Wait, is that? Yes, they actually have it. It was right there. I got excited. My pulse shot up. I dashed towards the mask wall like a cat after a mouse, taking and holding it up like I had just won a prize-fighting trophy. In my head, I may have even shouted, "Victory!" I know, it's a storybook ending. It's cinematic, it's dramatic, and it's completely untrue. The reality is far from exciting. Yes, the store had one that my friend feverishly purchased while I was using the restroom. He was delightfully completing his deluxe purchase while I was tending to paperwork. To be clear, this was our agreement. He was actually truly hoping to find this. He had a rather fun Halloween party plan, which was partially centered around this deluxe mask. My interest was slightly different. The pictures on the website made it look promising, and I wanted a chance to get to see it. And now that he owned one, I could. He was excited to model it and allowed me to try it on as well. And I will say this. Overall, I was impressed. It's sturdy, not too heavy. The visibility, surprisingly good. Better than many fursuit heads I've worn, to be honest. And it's comfortable to wear. The fur that's used is thicker than I would have expected, and the looks, well, they're fairly good. The trimming could be a little neater, but let's be honest. For $100 or $99.99 if we're speaking fluent retail, it's solid. For a Halloween store mask, Deluxe does not seem like false advertising, and the one we found in the store closely resembles the website photo, which is often not the case for many online products. I'm completely struck by the night and day difference between this and the overpriced piece of junk this is that Spirit shipped me last year. If I'd found this gray fox mask in the store having an opportunity to try it and see it, well, I would have never bought it at a price of $60. This deluxe mask, I would. Should I happen to find another, I will, though I do tend to collect masks. But I'll dare say, it's the best made for Halloween mask I've ever had my paws on, and likely stronger than many fursuit heads that were made upon mesh, which was often the building base used many years ago in the early days of furry. My only real complaint? It seems nearly impossible to find one. In what became a search that totaled 6 stores, my friend purchased the only deluxe mask we would ever even see. The website shows that they are also offering a pink version, but again, we didn't really ever see it. Oddly enough, this one seems to have 2 different names. Spirit's website calls the Deluxe Pink Furry Full Mask. But in a photo I found on social media, well, the actual product tag doesn't include the word full. This is probably just a typo, but I'll mention it because if you go looking for one of these previously owned, you may want to include both names in your search. Because previously owned, well, that may be the only way to purchase either version. Unless you're already holding a deluxe mask, you may be out of luck this season, just like I am. Spirit's website says not available, and my scavenger hunt suggests they're telling the truth. And by the time you're seeing this, well, nearly a month has passed, and many more sets of eyes have certainly been through their stores. I would not get my hopes up. But if you want to try, Spirit stores are located nearly everywhere, and you can take a look at their website, spirithalloween.com, to check all the stores that may be near you. If you find that you're lucky and bounce from store to store, maybe, just maybe, you'll score a holy grail for yourself. I would suggest one thing. Make sure you do your shopping before any side trips to the restroom. That's our tour. Thank you for joining me on this Halloween adventure. Now it's time for you to go have one of your own. Will you take your chances in a corn maze, or try carving the perfect pumpkin, or maybe take part in some local Halloween festivities? Whatever you do, I hope you get many chances to enjoy this amazing holiday. I certainly will at every chance that I get. We'll take a tour together next month. Until then, I'm Tasper, just looking for answers. And for one of these deluxe black furry masks.